So when we start training our dogs, what we want to do is make sure we are as clear as possible about what gets them paid and how we are going to tell them they have done something good. What we really want to make sure of with our dogs is that they understand good choices get them paid. The more we pay good choices, the less likely they are to make less good choices. So today what we are going to do is teach them a marker word. Now, a marker word is essentially a word that tells your dog in that split second they have done something good and that food will definitely follow. Unlike praise, where you may praise your dog, tell him he's a good boy and give him some fuss, he may not always get food with praise. With your marker word, your dog will know that they've done something good that is worthy of them getting a treat. So for me, what I usually use is the word yes. And when Arkle hears the word yes, when we are training, he knows he has made a good choice in that split second and a treat will come within 3 to 5 seconds. I use the word yes because it is short, it is sweet, and it is to the point. It is not something I am likely to say to my dog in any other circumstance. And essentially, yes means I can catch a split second of good choice where praise may not. So when I'm using a marker, I may use it in their normal training or I may use it in day-to-day life. But what we will do to start with is teach your dog what the marker word means, and then we will talk about how to use it. So initially, you're going to get some really tasty treats that your dog really likes. Ideally, these are soft, smelly, easy to swallow treats because they're going to get through quite a few of them. You always do these things when you're on camera. So what we want to do is get about 10 to 15 treats. You need to pick your marker word. Now, for me, it's yes. You could use good, you could use nice. Yes is always my preference. I tend to veer away from good because I say good boy or good girl. But you're going to get your tasty treats. All you're going to do is say that word and give them a treat. So they're not going to have to do anything. It's the easiest thing they're ever going to do in the whole world. You're just going to say yes and give them a treat. Yes, and then give them a treat. Yes, then treat. It's always word, then food. Yes, then the treat arrives. Ideally, they wouldn't be sprawled across you like this, but equally it's not the end of the world. He's doing some sort of performance art at the minute. I've taught him to lay flat, so he thinks we're doing that, I think. I could always get him up. Okay. I will try again. And I would, yes, give a treat, yes, give a treat, yes, give a treat, yes, about 15 or so times. If your dog's not taking treats, you could try tastier treats. You could try a different time of day when they're more tired or less tired. It sort of depends on your dog a little bit, but you should just be able to do that 15 times and your dog should be understanding that the word yes or whatever marker word you have chosen means they get a treat. Which means from here on in, we are going to use this when we are training to tell them they have done something good and they will get a treat. We are never using this to get their attention. We are never using this repetitively. It is always one yes, one treat for good behaviour. And what we can do is use this in real life. So if I get Arkle up a bit, okay, go send him off his mat, bring him back over and ask him, sit, yes. And it's when his bum hits the floor there that I would yes and then treat. Because that's the split second that good choice was made, was when that bum hit the floor. Where we want to time that yes is when they make the good choice. So if we did a touch where he touches my hand, touch, yes. It's when he makes contact with my hand. This is something where you have to be consistent. They will always get a treat after you say yes. And that's really important. In time we can fade out treats and praise and markers, but when we are at the start of training, we just want them to understand that good choices get them paid. Yes, and what we want to do is make sure that we're being consistent. We can use that yes in day-to-day training or just generally when they make good choices. But the golden rules of using a marker word are: use one word, make sure it is associated with treats, and then you can start to train with it. You don't want to be using it to get their attention. It is for telling them you did good in that split second. A treat is following.